kind of in a slump right now. So we'll see who's actually able to come out on top.
Yeah, as far as bans go, we're seeing some pretty typical stuff at the moment. Unknown taking out the Invoker, taking out the Earth Spirit, and picking up the Outworld
Yeah,
Devourer first. That is a smart pick. Outworld Devourer is certainly in demand in this entire patch. Certainly at the Shanghai Major, he was, I believe, the highest kill average and the most damage dealt.
that's that's disgusting. I absolutely hate Outworld Devourer with a passion. This guy, he can go in, he can fit in most any lineup and snowball better than most heroes. I think if he was the highest damage dealing hero and the highest KDA, I wouldn't be surprised. It's just a disgustingly powerful hero that can pretty much is difficult to kill. I mean, he's got a way to save himself if you initiate on him, and you get any sort of follow-up stun on the Astral Imprisonment, and that lane is an easy lane for him. Not to mention his harass is incredibly powerful. So this is a hero that's really hard to beat in lane, and although there are a couple of options you can try to pick up to go against him, I know some of the more popular ones, but don't always work out are the Zeus, the Death Prophet, things like that that people like to pick up. But in the end, you really got to struggle, or you really always struggle against this guy. And it comes down to the support rotations coming through if they're going to be effective.
Absolutely. Balrogs, they're taking a good, sweet amount of time here, dipping into their reserve time with pick one. I'm not sure if they're trying to figure out how to directly counter this Outworld Devourer or figuring out if they want to pick up their supports first, their cores first, get their mids in before they're taken out. If you're Balrogs, do you pick a support here and risk having the rest of your lineup or potential lineup banned out by Unknown?
Yeah, I think a support and an offlaner will typically be what people pick up in the second ban phase. It's not like it destroys the rest of your draft. I mean, if you pick up cores in the first, then a lot of supports get banned out, and they are supports that will get picked up more often and tend to fit better than others. So it's pretty much the same thing except on the other side. You pick up the cores first, the supports tend to get banned out that you want to pick. You pick up the supports first, the cores will tend to get banned out. But I guess you're going for an Ursa strategy. You want to pick him up earlier on. They'll grab him and the Oracle. I don't think I've seen Oracle go against an Outer World Devourer, at least not in a pro setting. So it could be interesting to see how he matches up. I don't see if there's any innate counters with him, but he'll definitely be able to hold someone in place long enough for the Ursa to get down and dirty with him, and that's exactly what it makes the Ursa strong. Lock someone in place, bring him down quickly.
10 seconds to go.
Yeah, I really like the Ursa pick here. Skeptical about the Oracle pick. I think Balrogs might be trying to pick up a lineup that just gets in, does the damage. You know, they go in, throw out that Oracle ultimate, the False Promise, onto Ursa so he could just slam down the damage, bring everyone on Unknown down. So possibly looking into a snowball lineup here for Balrogs. Heavy push, heavy early damage, and Unknown, they might be able to play this a little bit more calm, cool, collected.
Yeah, definitely with the Outworld Devourer, give them a chance to farm it up, go into the late game if need be. Ursa gets outcarried by most every other carry in the game, given equal farm. I mean, if the Ursa gets ahead in snowballs, then you can't stand up to the guy. He'll demolish you before you even have a chance to say anything. Even Outworld Devourer could struggle with the Ursa if his Astral Imprisonment was spent elsewhere. So if they can last long enough in a fight, be able to kite the Ursa around, then things get very scary for Balrogs. And Unknown have just picked up a hero that's a master at locking down mass amounts of, well, melee damage dealers, Ursa being one of them. The Chronosphere is going to be a big thing for him. I think he can pop his Enrage in the Chronosphere if he's got an Aghanims, which a lot of Ursas nowadays tend to build. But you can't get out of the Chronosphere, no matter what you do. So you take reduced damage, but you also still are locked in place.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you hope at that point the Oracle's not in the Chrono and can toss out that False Promise or maybe even the Purifying Flames. But Faceless Void very frequently comboed with a Witch Doctor. I think that's something Balrogs might need to take out of the pool as soon as possible. I think that Witch Doctor comboed with the Chronosphere, that is going to spray out so much damage. And like you mentioned, unless the Ursa's enraged, they can completely kill him from full health with that combo. And Witch Doctor is obviously a very in-demand pick at this point.
Yep.
It is being picked up 30.6% of matches this patch, which is very, very high.
Yeah, and boasts a pretty decent win rate for support. I mean, a lot of the times,
It's
some
50.2.
it's pretty good. I mean, it's not no vengeful spirit, which is a little bit higher, but it's still really really useful. And I think in conjunction with the Faceless Void, of course he's been banned out, so it doesn't really matter. But his win rate in conjunction with the Faceless Void has got to be a little bit higher than just as a support pick alone. So getting rid of him, I think, is incredibly smart for Balrogs. They got to start focusing on getting these supports because, as I mentioned, you pick up your cores first, then that leaves the other team to get rid of some high-profile supports. And the Mirana, I really like this one for multiple reasons, but the Omni Knight comes out, and that's going to hurt a lot. I think Guardian Angel will not block the pure of the Arcane Orb, but will still block the initial physical damage, if I'm not mistaken.
Either way, I'm seeing Balrogs go for a 4 protect 1 strategy here,
Yeah.
and basically going, you cannot touch my Ursa, and letting him just go into the fight, be on the front lines, take the damage, dish out the damage. Balrogs maybe even looking to pick up another protective semi-carry.
Yeah, you repel in, they can't do anything to that, except get the Chronosphere off, but even in a Chronosphere, you're relying on the rest of your team to just do some damage. I actually really like this pick.
Me too. I think the puck is going to do fantastic. If this is a mid puck up against the OD mid, having that phase shift there, just able to dodge a little bit of the damage coming up from the OD will be fantastic. But again, if there's rotations in, if Lion rotates in and gets that Earth Spike, that you got a dead Fairy Dragon.
Well, the point of puck is to not get hit by the Earth Spike, I think. We're looking at a hero, though. The reason I don't see puck typically picked up, I mean, 1v1, a puck will definitely be in Outworld Devour. Like, I think hands down, the puck is so good against this hero. The issue that puck faces is that as the game progresses, puck tends to not have as big of an impact. I mean, his Dream Coil is fantastic, but it's a very short stun. And teams nowadays aren't really worried about being locked in place for a certain amount of time because a lot of the time you've got team fight lineups, man fight lineups that don't care. They just turn around and they swipe you down. Undying being a pretty prime example of it. You get locked in one place, well, he doesn't care. As long as you're in the same place, that tombstone is going to be incredibly effective. But this puck offers so much versatility in a lineup that it almost doesn't matter that he doesn't have as huge of an impact. He operates in so many different levels that can work if run correctly. And I'm not totally sure where the rest of the game is going to go for this puck, but it might work out in their favor. We'll have to see. I think the silence is going to be fantastic against Void. Well, everyone on Unknown, as Death Prophet and Tidehunter, that's no surprise, getting banned out by both teams respectively.
I think the Tidehunter, yeah, no surprise, because Balrogs could still be looking for an offlaner, could be an offlane puck, but for the reasons you mentioned, I think puck belongs in the mid. The Death Prophet ban kind of weirds me out, because I thought Outworld Devourer was going to be tried and true mid here. Maybe Balrogs think they're going to run that in the safe lane?
I mean, I wouldn't put it past them to. I wouldn't like it, but we've got an Undying and a Faceless Void out, so obviously Unknown are going to do something a little bit left field. I don't think this is going to be a carry Faceless Void. I think that would be a terrible idea. But with the Undying out, you kind of wonder what exactly they're trying. I do think it is going to be the mid Outworld Devourer, but don't color me surprised if they don't run it. Spirit Breaker, though, being picked up from Balrogs, adding to this uber mid-game, early-game aggressive lineup. Whenever you see an Ursa, you got to kind of keep an eye towards the level 1 Roshan. Even though the Omni Knight and the Ursa, hell, even the Oracle might be able to do it pretty well. It would probably not be the smartest option for them. So look for them to try to go for a hard mid-game, try to win the lanes, and then snowball from there 5-man as soon as possible. Phantom Lancer coming out from Unknown is a pretty greedy pick, I think, and even though Ursa cannot go against him in the late game, he can still outpush him and outfight him in the early. So, I don't know. Unknown, they definitely have to break even in this early game and not get completely wiped out in the mid game, or we might be looking at a pretty quick stomp for Balrogs.
I really like this draft for Unknown. I think Balrogs are kind of going with the let's just get together, don't touch my Ursa, go in, get picks, get kills, and Unknown have a draft that's very equipped to deal with that. They've got a lot of stalling techniques, they've got the Tombstone from Undying, they've got Phantom Lancer just being kind of huge towards the mid and late game, and then obviously the Chrono from Faceless Void. So Unknown have a lot of ways to deal with that aggression without having to fight before they're comfortable.
Yeah, comfort level and the windows are going to be incredibly important this game. I think especially for the Balrogs, as we do come into this one. We probably are going to have the pause coming out, which is no surprise, but As far as where I see the next 10 minutes of this game going, I'm not entirely sure, actually. I don't know exactly who wins the lanes. I think Balrogs, again, they have a pretty decent aggressive lineup, but Unknown, we gotta still keep an eye out for the Undying pick, for the Lion pick. Both are very, very good laners. And same thing with the Outworld Devourer. Tends to win the mid lane. The Puck, I certainly think will be able to hold his own, but it comes down to a skill matchup at that point, where the better player will win the lane. There are a lot of times when if you just get a matchup that wins, sometimes the better player will lose or break even, but at this point, I definitely think the Puck will match up fairly evenly with the Owl Devour. We'll have to see exactly which one is able to play it a little bit more comfortably, a little bit more potently, and right about the 5-minute mark, whoever has the most CS, and we'll probably actually see a kill by that point in the mid lane, but in any regard, it looks like all our players are loaded in, so we might be able to start this game pretty soon.
Yeah, I completely agree with you in terms of draft. I think we're going to see a very mid-heavy focus for the first 10, even 15 minutes of the game, with a lot of ganks, a lot of rotations, maybe the Oracle sticking around on the side of the Dire, maybe Lion coming up to rotate on the side of the Radiant, and going for kills, going for aggression, and that means that, for the most part, I think Ursa and PL are going to have a very undisturbed lane, but I could be completely wrong.
All right, folks, for those of you guys just joining in, we've got the Sudamerican Master 4 playing out group stages. This is Group D, or at least the first match of such, being played between Balrogs and Unknown. 2 invite teams for this group. I think there's one more invite and one open qualifier team, but that doesn't matter for tonight. I am Chicago Ted, bringing you to this game. Joining me is Android, and on stats, we've got Lurkadur. And I'm super proud to bring you guys this game. I hope you enjoy. As the pause comes out, the game timer starts rolling. And nothing interesting so far. We don't have any smokes. The team's kind of delta splitting, but I think we might have the top rune going to be focused by Balrogs, where it looks like Unknown will be heading down towards the bottom. So no shenanigans coming out pre-game time, and looks like we'll just let this one kind of ease in nice and slow.
Yeah, I hope that's the case, but then again, those level 1 rune kills are always insane. We are going to have some rotation in from the Radiant. I'm wondering if they want to go scout out the Roche. They probably think, we got an Ursa, we got an Omni, we got an Oracle. It's something to consider, but I think maybe up top they've scouted out enough dire heroes that they're feeling safe.
Yeah, probably. I mean, this is definitely probably factored into the decision why Radiant went bottom. Not only is it the more typical rune for them to go towards, and they have more protection on this rune, but it also gives you a chance to duck into that Roche if you are worried about it. But as I said, I wasn't totally worried about that level 1 Roche because their lineup didn't quite seem like it was possible. And now with the Ursa showing in the top lane, it's definitely not going on. But looks like Els is going to try to make some pressure on top, but he'll just get chased down by Fuzzy Wuzzy himself. So the 50-50 split will happen this game. Unknown, of course, gets the bottom. Balrogs gets the top. Nothing happening. I'm rather surprised. I would have expected, maybe Balrogs to try to go for that level 1 engagement, especially considering Heart can deal a pretty good amount of damage in the early game. So too can Bane Hollow, but at the moment, I'm not too upset with that. It looks like Session might deny the courier, though. This is going to be a salve, so it won't be too consequential, but still, Session will get that courier kill. This is... that was a little sloppy, but it happens, so...
I'm not really sure why the Lion went for a hit on the tower between couriers. It seemed like maybe Dire would have had enough time to macro that way. But down bottom, we've got some action here with the bonus. Gonna be taking a hit. Purify gonna be going through, just getting him a little bit low. But man, that Undying is tanky to start things off.
Yeah, speaking of tanky, David also pretty damn tanky. Session will come through, though. They've got an Earth Spike. He might be trying to wait for the double spike here, but instead throwing out a couple of right clicks. That Purify, as you mentioned, though, just being a nuisance for Unknown to deal with, as everyone on this bottom lane is relatively low. In fact, everyone is relatively low. We take a look up top, as Els might have gotten himself a little bit too deep in the trees. He's got a time walk, but holding it for a very long time will finally get rid of that damage, get himself out of the trees. Pacifico will start to chase him down, but it doesn't seem like it's going to mean all that much. But Unknown are kind of getting harassed out of this one, at least for the first couple of minutes into the game. However, Balrogs haven't gotten themselves a kill just yet. It looks like it might be a while. Yep, he's still getting chased down, but even though he's a bear, he can't run all that fast at this point in the game.
Yeah, if there's one thing Void's good at, it's being slippery and obnoxious for the first couple minutes while he just spams that time lock to his heart's content. Man, there's 17% bashes coming down here in the bottom. Omni Knight is kind of going in. Those purifications have been great, but he's got one more left before he's just flat out of mana. No more clarities on him. He's got an emergency mango, but he has to conserve that.
Yeah, the mango's incredible for his base regen too. Like, he's got a stout shield, the mango. He can just run up to the wave and do what he's doing, not have to worry too much about the consequences. Meanwhile, Sessa, I mean, what does he do here? He's got a level 1 Earth Spike, a level 1 Hex. Actually, it looks like it doesn't even matter as bonus will come through. Gets a decay off. Okay, it will matter because he's not even able to get close enough for a stun. Looks for David, but won't find it. Still no kills at 2.5 minutes. A very passive game considering, you know, what the lineups are entailing.
Yeah, I'm guessing First Blood's going to come out here in the bottom lane just because Radiant are doing exactly what they need to do, which is just make space for PL to farm. And Undying and Lion are fantastic harassy supports. So it looks like more Purifies coming through, doing some damage, bashing up the bonus, but he's still content to go back in. He has a Soul Rip if things get a little bit spooky.
I don't even know what to say about this right now. It's just coming down to neither team really wants to commit. And that makes a lot of sense when you take a look at Balrogs. They're really good at counter initiation, right? You run on to David, he gets a bash, a lucky bash, you purify, and then all of a sudden someone's half HP or lower. And then you just follow up the kill nice and easy from there. But they never really are the ones to initiate the action. I mean, you can charge in and maybe try to initiate, but there's too many stuns, too many ways to stop it on the side of Unknown. Unknown, though, are being really passive considering they've got a Lion with an Earth Spike with a Hex, a decent amount of lockdown time there. The bonus, I mean, he doesn't actually have Tombstone leveled, which I guess makes a little bit of sense, but between the three of them, they've got plenty of magical damage and some chase to just go straight after Balrogs and kind of burn them down. Looks like it's just not going to happen, though, as all three lanes still staying very passive. I guess the winners of this, though, are Pacifico with 24 last hits in the top lane. Jeremy with about 22. The mid lane, though, going well in favor of Heart. 19-5 to 12-5 of Falco style.
Alright, we saw a little bit of space being created there as Void made some room, but down bottom, maybe some action?
Yep, the charge through from David will go on to Session. Aerodonius goes for the Purify, but is not going to help him out at all. He gets taken down in the First Blood. There will be a Tombstone now from the bonus. I had to pop his mango for that one. They'll chase David down, get an Earth Spike off, but there's only one zombie chasing him. He'll go in for the charge, in towards the mid lane, but cancels the charge soon thereafter because he's got help from Bane Hollow coming in for the backstab. Now onto the bonus, but who's really stabbing who? The bonus is just slapping Bane Hollow across the face, but the Fairy Fire will come out. Now a bash, and comes to Purifying Flames, and that'll be enough to give him enough damage for the right click to finish him. Falco style comes down with a couple of Arcane Orbs now burning David. They've got a Propel, though, which will help him. Meanwhile, you've got Bane Hollow going down to for the win by the hard camp. So the First Blood comes out, and it comes out in style already. 2-2. I don't think either team coming out widely in advantage. I guess Balrogs edging out about 300 more gold out of that fight and about 100 more experience.
That was a very quirky fight as it just kind of went on and on, but now Falco style in the mid lane is going to get Dream Coiled in. Does he just try to break this? He doesn't really know what to do. Going to be forcing the phase shift out of the puck, trying to get that Astral, but looks like one more right click comes out, takes out the mid Outworld Devourer, and that's going to be really, really good for Balrogs.
Yeah, that was kind of,
Cheeky play.
I guess, a last-second desperation play from the Owl Devourer. I mean, as I said, the puck has a lot of
Phantom
ways to deal.
Lancer.
Oh, yep, bottom lane. For the win, will try to run away. It looks like he is hit by the Purifying Flames. That will slowly regenerate him. Meanwhile, David getting trapped in by the illusions gets brought down. Tombstone under the tower will end as Bane Hollow now on the run. The bonus, the one to carry the chase. Kahei flies out, burning him for a little bit of his HP, but not a whole lot to make a difference. He needs another Soul Rip and Decay to finish this one off, but a salve will come through. Doesn't get canceled by the creep because it's a little bit too late. So an overextension in the end evens up the kill score once again But I think Hart is not too upset about that one. Getting a solo kill onto Falco Style might actually get another one as a charge coming through. You've got the Waning Rift out, but the Hex from Seshit. They also have the Earth Spike. Can the charge help out in time? He will be able to phase shift out with the Sanity's Eclipse missing. As Seshit now in a little bit of trouble. Make that a lot of trouble. A Dream Coil onto the bonus. There will be a Soul Rip to fly, but not doing all that much damage. Bonus will also get brought down. Balrogs come in, and they come in loud as Unknown drop 3 in the mid lane to what looked like Hart going down. Complete opposite happened.
This Puck is destroying OD mid. Not only have they gotten a couple kills, but now Puck has 38 last hits compared to OD's 18, and that's not where you want to be as an Outworld Devourer. Sure, you scale nicely, but this Puck is just owning you, and that's going to make a really, really difficult mid game.
Yeah, and speaking of owning as far as last hitting goes, we've got 50 last hits now on Pacifico. This is a hero that needs to get as much gold out of the early laning stage as possible, because once he starts fighting, his farming speed pretty much hits the tank. Bottom of the tank, rather, as he needs to get a couple of items before he can casually walk into the jungle and farm between fights. So getting all of this out of the lane is super important. Now that he's got a Morbid Mask completed, he should be able to Roshan. Actually, he's got the levels to Roshan right now if he wants to. Going in for a Mask of Madness right about now, too. He's got all the items he needs, sans the Blink Dagger, to just go straight in and get aggressive, get mad. But I wouldn't put it past him to wait for the Blink as, yep. Just caught that one. Wow. So what happened there? Take us through it.
Outworld Devourer is getting handled here. The Bane had a really nice, or sorry, not the Bane, wow.
Alright, I hate to cut you off on the bottom lane. We've got a big cluster of action happening. Dream Coil gets spent and will catch out. It looks like the bonus getting brought down in the meantime. Erroneous, they get out the Purify. He might still fall here, but for the win, dropping very low. He'll go down the bash to secure it. Now Hart will move through. Can he get this triple? The Fairy Fire, the third kill to happen. This Puck, double damage on top of all of that. I mean, 6-0-2. His net worth has to be through the roof, and it is, closing in on 5K net worth at 9 minutes. What a performance from him. Top lane, though, and comes Pacifico. You've got the bear right back behind you, and that is the best place for him to be, as he'll swipe else down and get himself his own kill to put him very high up on the net worth as well.
Alright, if you're Unknown, how do you deal with this? Because Balrogs, their draft really capitalizes on those early kills, and their Puck, he's now doing beyond what you could expect. He's going to be godlike most likely at some point this game, and Unknown, they have a draft that can sit back, but that means they can't die anymore. And now it looks like Falco Style might be in some more trouble. He's going to get charged up here, and there's a very hungry bear looking to rotate in and capitalize on that, so this is,
this is
most
a kill.
likely another... Wow, okay.
Sometimes you don't even need to finish the charge. I mean, okay, so what happens there is if you... Oh, actually, I can't talk about that right now. We've got a Hex out onto Pacifico. Is this a Haste Rune? No, he's just Mask of Madness and buffed up by... Oh, God, what is this? Empowering Haste. Man, so soon I forget on that one. But he's just moving so damn quick.
This is a massacre about to happen. We have Undying. He doesn't even know what kind of trouble he's in. Oh, no.
I think he knows what kind of trouble he's in. Actually, at
yeah,
least Jeremy knows what kind of trouble he's in.
The bonus is going to be scrambling onto tower. Ursa barely taking damage, still has his ult ready to go. That tombstone's going to be the first to fall in this fight. Fantastic takedown from that. And the bonus, he just got destroyed. I don't think I've ever seen an Undying pop so quickly.
There's the 5, man. We talked about it in the draft, and we knew Balrogs needed to play this style because even though Unknown have a very greedy lineup, it's one that can come online fairly early if the laning stage goes somewhat okay. So if OD won this lane, I think Balrogs would have a little bit of trouble finishing out the game and then, you know, well, finishing out the game. But because of how well this Puck's been doing, I don't think there's really any way for Unknown to come back as far as, you know, their own good decisions come. Seshit will just get brought down by a couple Purifying Flames. There's an Oracle for you, and this charge is just going to finish in the Falco style, but he doesn't even need to finish it, as Hart brings him down. Balrogs, a huge showing from these guys. 11 minutes in. I mean, I'm thinking we might have a pre-25-minute GG if it even goes that long. Because right now, I mean, okay,
Oh, no.
bonus, in goes the Waning Rift. There is going to be a Dream Coil cast for this one, and it works. Godlike for Heart. You've got a time dilation, but L's just taking so much damage. He'll be able to time walk this one out. But this is more of a focus towers, guys, as David, oh, is he going to be the collateral here? He is Eckhard chronoed underneath the tier 1 tower. Now the Hex Falco style, he desperately needs this kill, but it will go to Seshid. That guy's name is a tongue twister in and of itself. But
Shesid. There you go.
what is it?
Shesid.
Shesid, yeah, I got it. It just takes me a while.
It's Seshid. Yeah, whatever.
Come on, Annie. Don't do this to me.
Let's point out the fact that the puck is godlike.
Yep.
There's no way you kill this guy. He's got 2,100 gold in the bank, on top of having some good starting items. He's got to have... There you go. He has a blink being flown out to him. That's... How do you stop this puck if you're unknown? Do you have to commit the chrono? I mean, it's just... There's too much to focus on this point, and now it looks like Bear might be in some trouble, going to disjoint that Spirit Lance with a blink dagger, and... Dire are not scared whatsoever. They're just going in on a mid-OD without any respect. Ursa's still holding on to that ultimate, gonna be popping it now. There's gonna be an Astral Imprisonment defensively, taking out the Tombstone in the meantime, and now it looks like there's an Earth Spike. Bear doesn't even care. We're gonna see the Guardian Angel being popped. As OD goes down, looks like Shesid on the line, soon to follow, and now the bonus silenced up. There's gonna be a Dream Coil catching out Jeremy. Jeremy can't die here. He's trying to get away. What's left of his life. Bear goes in on the backlands, meanwhile takes down the Undying, and now it's going to be Jeremy just trying to run with his life, and no, he will not get out. Beyond godlike here for Heart. He's 10-0-4. Where are the breaks on this puck?
Well, non-existent, I think. I mean, to answer your question that you asked very early in that, you do need to lock him down with nearly everything, but pre-Blink Dagger, you've got a Faceless Void who has a pretty predictable cast animation for the Chronosphere. So if they do end up committing that for Heart, he can probably just phase shift an orb out of that one before they even cast it, as Seshid could be in a bit of trouble, but he will get away. Heart not going to overdive this one. Meanwhile, top lane, you've got a charge, and L's getting demolished as Pacifico. He's not done. David and him will chase down Jeremy. Does he have a doppelganger? He does at the ready, but now 20 seconds on cooldown. David will pop a charge, gets a bash. Seshid finally gets that Hex off, but will it mean any difference here as he finally gets brought down? David, though, he'll get taken out as collateral. Jeremy on the run. Pacifico, you're in a bit too deep. This is still an Aegis Immortality, but he's got to blink out from this one. He cannot because of the damage from the Astral. They pop the Aegis, but now he can blink if they can time this one correctly, or if he can time this one correctly, he will get it into the trees, out and about, so he will not die. That would be a pretty important kill, too,
Meanwhile,
for them to get. Meanwhile?
Yes. Base created from that Ursa. Now, bottom lane, they're going to take out the tier 2 tower. This is getting disgusting here. Puck has another 1,700 gold, 1,800 gold there, just from clearing out the wave, getting out the tower. What does Puck build now to be the meanest fairy dragon ever in existence?
Dagon?
Like, straight Dagon, or are we going to build some stats first?
I definitely think he can get away with it right now. I mean, you picture where you are in Balrog's point, right? He's already got the drums, so they have a little bit of pushing potential. Something like a Shiva's or whatnot isn't going to give you a whole lot, because Shiva's is more of a debuff for the enemy, and they're already pretty damn weak. So you go the Dagon, and you're pretty much guaranteed to kill one person at the start of the fight, which is super important when you've got a lineup that needs to break the high ground very soon.
Speaking of start of the fight.
Yep, Pacifico's going to go straight on in. Even though there's a Tombstone, is it really going to matter? Else, he'll pop the Chronosphere, and David being caught mid-leap. However, Pacifico is in no real trouble. They'll get the Hex off onto him, but David will focus down the tower. Now you've got an Earth Spike catching 2. Bane Hollow dropping pretty low, but still not dead. Falco style getting demolished behind the lines as bonus also on the run, but no more Tombstone means there is no escape for the Undying. No zombie is safe from Pacifico, as now they're not done. They'll move in, but there's no one left for them to kill. They cast a whole bunch of stuff on literally nothing. As a tier 1 mid now going down 6-27. And at this point, you know, you wonder what's going through Unknown's head right now, because it is still very possible for a Balrogs to flat out throw this one. But that possibility is very slim. We talk about a lead which is holding on to about 1,000 gold per minute advantage over Balrog, or over Unknown as a whole. Balrog's taken this one pretty handily. Experience also very, very high as Pacifico. Yep, time dilation will keep him from casting anything for quite a while. He does have Enrage, though, if he needs to pop it, but he'll just try to run away. Yep, he'll pop Enrage and go for the TP. They need a bash to stop him, but Else just attacks too damn slow to reliably get one off. David, he's going to run out of mana pretty soon. Okay, he's got a 4-stop to get himself into low ground and a repel to preserve his escape. I'm not sure if they actually want to fight here, but it looks like they're going to try anyway. This is pretty ballsy from Unknown. They've lost the past couple of team fights, and then comes the Nether Strike. They go in for Falco style. He'll get himself with an Astral, but it's only delaying the inevitable there. And comes a Guardian Angel. Else trying to cast a Chronos here, but it's on cooldown, so he can't even do anything here. He just has to slowly wait and accept defeat as he gets taken out almost as an afterthought to everything else. They'll blink forward. I don't know. We're just having kill after kill here. Pacifico, he's just taunting him out. The Aerospike will come out. A very good Aerospike, but inconsequential to say the least. And I talked about what the Dagon for Heart, he actually went for a Maelstrom. So I don't think he really cares right now.
What? This is just some... I'm not going to say BM play, but right now I think Balrogs are playing with their food. Heart TP's in, trying to get the Phantom Lancer. He will end up TPing out alive, but this Puck can solo a Phantom Lancer. No trouble whatsoever at 17 minutes in the game. That's not where you want to see your hard carry here if you're Unknown.
Yeah, I talked about some innate weaknesses with Puck, but really those weaknesses go away when you snowball this hard. Now, he does have a problem with his pushing power. His right click sometimes tends to be a lot weaker. So as long as he continues to build and do his intelligence,
oh, look at this bait here.
Yep. I don't know if this is bait, Annie. Aerodonius is dead. In comes Else going in. He looks like he wants a Chrono. We'll catch 2 in it. Do they have Ascendity? So they just casted it. They do bring down Pacifico, though. This is pretty important for them to get another kill off this. This would secure a very good fight for them. But they just cannot seem to close the distance onto Bane Hollow. The pings come out. They want David now. Hearts waiting in the wings. It's going to be a buyback from Pacifico. TP's into the tier 1 tower, which is still remaining in the mid. Session getting hit by the Nether Strike. David dropping very low. That's Falco style getting another kill. However, there is a bear, and he is angry. Heart has no mana for really much else. He does have a blink up and a Mjolnir if he needs it. Can they guess the blink? No, they can't. Falco style. And then can they get the fortunes? And they cannot. It doesn't cancel TP anyway, so it wouldn't matter. But Unknown.
For a second there, thought Balrogs was going to be able to unload enough damage to get down that full health OD in like 0.5 seconds, and they almost did.
It looks like they casted a Purifying Flames on the wrong target.
That's a little bit unfortunate. Yeah, we saw in the Chronosphere, looks like Oracle actually sent a Purifying Flames there onto the Void, but as Void casted Chronosphere, so we just kind of got nice and healthy, eventually brought down out of the Chrono anyway. So now, Ursa smacking on the tier 2s. We're going to take out the second to last exterior tower on the side of Unknown. Balrogs, all their towers are relatively untouched. This is just such an astronomical lead. If you take a look at overall net worth, we're still hanging around a little over 15,000 in favor of Balrogs. That's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot. That's an understatement of the century. I mean, this...
Oh, Bane Hollow.
Yep, remember, we did have a buyback on Pacifico, so he goes down. This could be trouble. Bane Hollow looks like he is going to be the target, though. Aerodonius. The Repel comes out onto the Ursa. He's moving in. They've got the Guardian Angel, but Aerodonius is still taking a whole lot of damage from the newfangled Diffusal Blade. Now Pacifico is on the run, but Aerodonius seems to be the only death so far. Pacifico still being chased. They've got an Observer Ward to catch out his positioning, but they can't really act on it right now. Sessions moving in for David, who's on the low ground. He is caught in the river, but the Aerospike will miss. Now we've got a Doppelwalk onto the low ground, but an immediate blink up. Pacifico goes onto the high ground. Musical positioning here. As bonus now, the charge will come through, but they're still not able to bring him down. He is too damn tanky right now. Surprising to say the least, considering the history of this team. But we just saw Unknown man up against Balrogs and not get demolished. Maybe this is where things change, though. There's another strike, a charge through that'll chain bash Falco style down. They've got the Dream Coil, but the Chronosphere comes out. Heart taking a lot of damage. They've got these enemies eclipsed, but he gets the phase shift off. He's still alive. Meanwhile, Falco style does go down. Jeremy soon to follow. And that'll be the GG. 21 minutes in. While there are still Tier 2 standing, Unknown say they don't want any more. We're out. We can't take it anymore. But,
oh no, Heart's
still?
perfect game was ruined. He's now 18-1-9. He almost
Wait.
had that 18-0-9.
Was
He did
that
get
a,
taken out there.
a fake GG?
Is that a fake GG?
That's a fake GG.
I believe it was a fake GG because the puck went down, and Spirit Breaker kind of got sassy about that.
No, they have to GG out. I mean,
What? Oh no, tournament rules. Wait. Okay.
yeah. No, it's over.
Okay.
Just a little bit of BM. It doesn't make a difference.